What's your question for Caitlin?
My question today is, what's the hardest part about playing basketball?
At the end of the day, none of it's hard. You're really lucky that you get to be able to do it. So, obviously there's ups and downs and there's hard moments, but that's just life.
It's a real pity Caitlin Clark isn't playing.
Caitlin, no one is more disappointed than yourself that you're not going to be able to play because of injury. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm just excited to be out here, see everybody.
Caitlin Clark may be out injured, but the vibe's still very high at WNBA All-Star Week.
Just to show y'all the vibe. Caitlin Clark in the building. This is just the vibe.
You're rocking with Caitlin.
She's been very active on the sideline when she wasn't playing.
She means a lot more to the game than just showing up and playing.
We know the persona of Caitlin Clark. She's everywhere.
The WNBA All-Star Game didn't just sell out, it erupted into absolute mayhem. But here's the catch. Caitlin Clark never even stepped on the court. That's right. It's the one player who caused the arena to explode in ticket sales, fan chants, and media frenzy. Never played a single minute. And still, she dominated every headline. So what happened? Why were fans screaming her name from the nosebleeds? Why did security have to step in to calm a near riot outside the gates? And most shockingly, why did the cameras catch other WNBA players looking visibly tense and even jealous in real time? There are leaked fan videos, private audio from inside the locker room, and even a player who allegedly refused to enter the game once she found out Caitlin would be in the building, even if she wasn't playing. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is a cultural takeover. And if you think the drama ends there, oh no, baby. This is just the beginning. Let's dive into the wild backstory behind this historic moment and how Caitlin Clark broke the WNBA without even lacing up. Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into the WNBA. She stormed in like a lightning strike, bright, loud, and impossible to ignore. From her record-breaking run at Iowa to jaw-dropping deep threes that had grown men and pro legends alike screaming from the sidelines, Caitlin wasn't just a college star. She was a phenomenon. Her jersey sales, off the charts. Her social media following, bigger than half the league combined. And when she stepped into the Indiana Fever locker room, everyone knew things were about to change. But not everyone was. Ready for that change? See, behind the smiles and welcome to the league tweets, there was tension brewing. Real, thick, unspoken tension. Longtime WNBA players whispered about privilege, about unearned hype, about the media pushing one face to the front. And Caitlin, she heard it. Every subtle dig. Every side-eye during pre-game warm-ups. Every quote from veterans who didn't know what the hype was about. But none of that mattered to the fans. Because wherever Caitlin went, the fans followed. Whether she was scoring 30 or struggling with a rough night, her arenas were always packed. Little girls lined up in her jerseys. Grown men begged for selfies, and every ticket she touched, it turned to gold. That brings us to the All-Star Game. Months before the event, fans started asking, is Caitlin gonna be in the All-Star Game? Her votes exploded past everyone else's within days. The WNBA had never seen anything like it. Even the league's OWN marketing team
Caitlin Clark has gone. She has been swarmed.
quietly shifted focus, from pushing veterans to promoting Clark. But then controversy hit. The All-Star voting system split the power. 50% fans, 25% media, 25% players. And when the players' votes came in, Caitlin Clark didn't make the starting lineup. Fans were furious. How you gonna snub the biggest name in the game? One fan posted, she sold out every arena she touched. Y'all really kept her off the court. Memes went wild. News? Anchors debated it like it was politics. Hashtag Let Caitlin Play trended for 5 days straight. Nike even posted a cryptic tweet. She shine, whether they like it or not. Still, the league held firm. Caitlin Clark would attend. But she wouldn't play. But let's be real, that just made things worse. Tickets for the All-Star game were moving slow till rumors dropped that Caitlyn would be in attendance. Not even playing, just being there. And suddenly, boom, sold out. Over 20,000 seats gone in less than 36 hours. Even scalpers couldn't keep up. One seller posted, "I just sold 4 tickets for $1,200 each because people thought Caitlyn might show up courtside." But wait, it gets crazier. Sources say 2 top WNBA players confronted organizers behind the scenes, demanding to know why Caitlyn was being treated like the main event without even earning a starting spot. One anonymous player allegedly said, "If I'd known she was gonna steal the show from the bench, I would have skipped the damn game." And remember that locker room audio? Yeah, we're getting to that because apparently one player's mic picked up a conversation no one was supposed to hear. And when the audio leaked online, let's just say the internet went into meltdown mode. The tension wasn't just real, it was explosive. By the time game day came around, fans weren't just showing up to watch basketball. They were showing up to see if Caitlyn Clark would take the spotlight or be dragged off it. Security was heightened. VIP areas were doubled. One fan got tackled trying to rush the tunnel she was rumored to walk through, and inside the arena, there were cameras pointed at Caitlyn all night long. I was watching, every breath was bated, and the moment her face flashed on the Jumbotron with her in street clothes, not even a jersey, the crowd lost its mind. Screams, cheers, phones in the air. Kids crying. A full-blown standing ovation that went longer than the actual player intros, and the craziest part, some of the players weren't clapping. That's when the whispers started again. This isn't an all-star game. This is the Caitlyn Clark Show. And oh baby, they weren't wrong. But you won't believe what happened next because the real drama. It didn't start until halftime. Halftime, the crowd still electric from that viral Jumbotron moment. People weren't even watching the first half properly. They were too busy tracking every camera angle, waiting for another glimpse of Caitlyn Clark in the VIP section. She wasn't even on the bench, just sitting with security, her hoodie up.
Somewhere behind this ridiculous crowd is Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark making time for her fans.
Caitlyn Clark outside taking pictures of fans outside of Cambridge.
Looking low-key, but the whole stadium was locked in on her. Now here's where things go left, because apparently, while fans were cheering and cameras were rolling, behind the scenes, a meltdown was underway. According to a leaked team chat between WNBA staffers, 2 all-star players refused to come back out for the second half until something was done about the Clark circus. One even called it a disrespect to the game and threatened to boycott the rest of the event. Screenshots of that chat leaked and trending. Within minutes, Twitter exploded. @_ballislife. Wait, so y'all mad Caitlyn Clark has fans? Since when is selling out arenas a bad thing? @HOOPZQUEEN. Can't believe grown athletes are throwing a tantrum during the All-Star game because people like Caitlyn. That's embarrassing. @WNBA_fan account. The jealousy is so loud it's deafening. If she didn't play, why are y'all so pressed? But while the public fumed, things backstage were spiraling. One assistant coach was reportedly caught on video trying to calm down an all-star forward who was pacing, visibly angry, saying, "This was our moment, not hers, not her circus, not her fans. We earned this." And that's when it happened. The first twist, Caitlyn Clark was spotted being escorted through a back tunnel. At first, fans thought she was just going to a private suite or leaving early, but then someone zoomed in on the blurry hallway footage. She was headed toward the locker rooms. People immediately lost it. WHY is Caitlyn Clark going backstage? Is she about to check in? Is she playing? They didn't even put her in the roster. What's going on? Within minutes, rumors flew that Caitlyn was about to be a surprise halftime entry, a stunt cooked up by the WNBA to salvage ratings and calm the backlash. But the truth, so much worse. Sources say that Caitlyn was personally requested to enter the locker room by an upset player who wanted to talk face-to-face. Allegedly, a top-tier WNBA vet who had been vocal against Caitlyn in the media asked for a direct conversation to set boundaries. Let that sink in. She was asked to come back there, and when she did, all hell broke loose. According to a locker room witness who sent an anonymous voice note to a sports blog, Caitlyn walked in calmly, not trying to stir drama. But within seconds, voices were raised. The air got tense. The unnamed vet, allegedly, pointed at her and said, "I don't know who told you this league is yours, but you need to learn some respect." And Caitlyn, she didn't back down. The witness claims she responded, "I'm not trying to take anyone's place. I'm just playing the game I love, and if people show up for that, don't blame me." Woo www. At that point, other players allegedly joined in. One slammed her water bottle down, another stormed out. Some tried to mediate, but the tension, unbearable. That's when security got involved. You heard that right. Security had to escort Caitlyn out of the locker room for her own protection. And once she was back in the hallway, the damage was done. Word spread instantly. Fans outside the locker room started chanting her name louder than before. Videos captured fans literally screaming, "Let her play! Let her play!" You scared of a rookie? That's when the WNBA broadcast cut to an unexpected delay. No one gave an explanation. The commentators tried to keep things light. Just a brief pause before the second half, they said. But fans knew something was off. Meanwhile, backstage, players were divided. One all-star, who has never spoken publicly about Caitlyn before, took to her Instagram story with a cryptic post.
With Caitlyn, the star power that is Caitlyn Clark.
A black screen with white text that said, "Sometimes the ones you welcome in end up kicking you out your own house." Fans dissected it within seconds. Who was she talking about? But the drama didn't stop there. A leaked voice note surfaced, allegedly from a player who had witnessed the confrontation, and it made things even messier. She didn't yell. She didn't cry, but she wasn't backing down either. Honestly, I don't blame her. They made her the villain, and she just took it. That voice note spread like wildfire. People started reposting the audio with fan-made graphics, dubbing the confrontation the tunnel takedown. Some were angry, others were inspired, but everyone was watching, and Caitlyn, she didn't say a single word publicly. She just sat courtside again, stone-faced, locked in as if nothing had happened. But her silence only made the headlines louder. News anchors debated whether this was an internal rebellion or a historic WNBA clash. Podcast hosts began calling it the Rookie Rebellion, and fans began choosing sides. Was Caitlyn Clark a victim of jealousy, or was she stepping on toes too soon? But just when the internet thought it couldn't get any more chaotic, boom! Another twist, and this one, it made everything way worse. Just when fans thought they'd seen it all, the tension, the confrontation, the backdoor tunnel drama, a single leaked screenshot brought the WNBA universe to its knees. It came from a private group chat between 4 WNBA players, and it wasn't supposed to be public at all. But someone, maybe a pissed-off teammate, maybe a hacked phone, leaked it. And when it hit the internet, chaos. In the messages, the players weren't just complaining about Caitlyn Clark's fame. They were strategizing. Let the crowd scream. As long as she ain't playing, we're good. She can sit front row all day long. Just don't let her take our shine. Low-key, they invited her to the locker room so someone could humble her. What? Fans read those lines and immediately lost it. At Sports Spill TV, this isn't competition anymore. This is sabotage. Caitlyn walked into a setup, and y'all smiling like it's normal. At Court Queens, y'all said it was about respect, but this looks like a plot to humiliate her. At Caitlin Clark Fan, they tried to humble her. Who TF do y'all think you are? The WNBA world had officially snapped in half. Hashtag Justice for Caitlyn began trending within minutes, followed by hashtag Mean Girls of the WNBA and hashtag Let Her Play. Even mainstream celebs jumped into the mess. Kendrick Perkins tweeted, "She's not the problem. She's the reason they watch it now." Facts. Shaq went on IG Live and said, "Caitlin Clark filled more seats than half the league combined, and they mad at her? Nah. You salute that? You don't shade it." But while fans were rallying to her defense, another storm was brewing. Because a second
Incredibly sad, can't participate. I will still be at Gainbridge helping Sandy coach our team to a win.
Second, even darker piece of information leaked. This time, audio from a private team meeting the day before the All-Star game. In the audio, one veteran can be heard mocking Clark's popularity. "Let her keep shooting those logo threes. That *T ain't real basketball. I want to see her do that when we're pressing her full court." And then the bombshell, another voice chimed in. "If she ever steps on the court with me again, I'm tacking her out." Accidental screen. Real hard one. The internet froze. Was that a joke or a thinly veiled threat? The media pounced. Analysts debated whether it was trash talk or something more serious. ESPN anchors argued live on air. One called it disgusting. Another called it the price of fame. Meanwhile, Caitlyn still hadn't spoken, but fans were. Loudly at the game's after-party. Footage surfaced of Clark walking into a private VIP event, and fans literally swarmed the barricade, chanting her name like she was Taylor Swift. Caitlyn, Caitlyn, Caitlyn. But then, someone threw a drink. No one knows who it was. No one caught the throw, but the glass. It hit the floor inches from Caitlyn's heels. Security surrounded her in seconds. She was rushed out of the event immediately. Fans were stunned. At All-Star Girl, someone just tried to throw a drink at Caitlin Clark. What is happening right now? A ballin' with Jess. Y'all turning a basketball rookie into a target. This ain't sports anymore. This is bullying. The WNBA released a brief, dry statement. "We are aware of the incident and are working with local authorities to identify the individual responsible." But it wasn't enough, because now, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a trending name. She was being treated like an outsider. A target, and still, she stayed silent until the next morning. Boom. Instagram post, a simple photo of her shoes. Sitting by her locker, no face, no court. Just shoes, caption, "I show up. That's what I do." No emojis, no tags. Just that and the internet. Exploded. LeBron James reposted it with fire emojis. Stephen A. Smith called it the most savage clapback in sports this year. Taylor Rooks quote tweeted it with, "And she didn't even play." But while fans cheered her resilience, more tea was spilling. A WNBA staffer came forward anonymously, claiming that the league knew the players were planning something behind the scenes, that they downplayed Caitlyn's attendance to avoid disruptions, and that someone high up made the call to keep her on the sidelines, not because she didn't earn it, but because putting her on the court would have triggered a walkout. Wait, what? You mean to tell us? Caitlin Clark was benched to protect the egos of veteran players. The game wasn't just missing her. She was
Everywhere Caitlin Clark has gone, she has been swarmed.
She was intentionally sidelined to avoid conflict. The betrayal hit fans like a truck. This league is scared of its own rising stars. They didn't protect her. They protected their image. And that's when the final punch came in this chapter. An alleged sponsor contract leak, yup. A confidential email surfaced from an ad agency, repping one of the WNBA's biggest sponsors, and it revealed a terrifying detail: contingency plan in place if Caitlin Clark is not featured prominently in All-Star Game content. Ad visibility and fan engagement predicted to drop 45% if her role is downplayed. 45%. And yet, they still sidelined her. So now, fans aren't just mad, they're organizing boycotts, petitions, fan-led merch in support of Clark, and the league scrambling to control the wildfire. But it's too late, because this drama just went global. And Caitlin? She still hasn't said a word. But what's about to happen next? It's bigger than the game. The morning after the chaos, the All-Star Game wasn't trending anymore. Caitlin Clark was. Not because of a triple-double, not because she hit a logo 3, because she didn't even play and somehow broke the league. Across the sports world, fans, celebs, and influencers were taking sides, and the entire WNBA was caught in the middle of a nuclear war between loyalty and legacy. She's got the fans, the numbers, the attention, and now she's got the sympathy. One ESPN analyst said, "That's a dangerous combo." Let's talk numbers. Within 24 hours of the leaked messages, chants, and tunnel blow-up, WNBA's All-Star Recap video, 1.2 million views. WNBA's Caitlin Clark cam footage, 14.8 million views. Caitlin's shoe post, 5.3 million likes in under 8 hours. Hashtag WNBA war hit 7 million tweets, and that's when the celebrity wave came crashing in. Billie Eilish reposted a fan-made edit of Caitlin with the caption, "They hate what they can't control." Rihanna liked a tweet saying, "Let the girl cook." Even Barack Obama subtly threw shade by liking an old Clark highlight with the comment, "Always loved the way she played." But it wasn't all support. A few players, clearly fed up, started pushing back. One WNBA All-Star tweeted, "Funny how y'all forget who built this league just because y'all like it deep." 3. Another commented under Caitlin's photo, showing, "Up is easy when everything's handed to you." Boom. More backlash. Fans instantly began dragging every player who shaded Clark, digging up old stats, missed free throws, and viral fails from past seasons. At Clark Nation, Sis had 3 points in the All-Star Game and got the nerve to talk spicy? Sit down. At basketball_Becky, Caitlin ain't even in the game, and she's still owning the storyline. That's power. Meanwhile, the WNBA front office tried to play peacemaker, but their attempts just made things worse. They posted a PA statement, "We value all our players and the passion of our fans. Let's celebrate unity in women's sports." Unity. The replies were brutal. Unity would have been letting Caitlin play. You want unity, but let players plot against the rookie behind closed doors. Stop gaslighting your fan base. Now, here's where things get crazy. Teams began choosing sides. Literally, the Indiana Fever, Caitlin's team, made a bold move. They dropped a new promo across their social media pages. Slow motion footage of Caitlin walking into the locker room, hoodie up, crowd roaring. Tagline across the screen, "Built different, not backing down."
Constant theme has been about just how big the presence is here, how many people are here, how much attention is around the game.
The video, 10 million views, over 200K comments, and half the league refused to repost it. The divide was clear. It's Caitlin versus everyone. Even some retired players weighed in. Lisa Leslie on a podcast. She's got to know what she's walking into. This league isn't a popularity contest, it's earned. Sue Bird in a separate interview. Caitlin's not the problem. The culture around her is, and if the league doesn't fix it, they're going to lose fans fast. Meanwhile, fans. We're creating full-on content wars, YouTube videos, TikTok documentaries titled The Silencing of Caitlin Clark, fake trailers using dramatic music with the tagline, "The league made her a star," then tried to erase her. Fan-made merch. Stores popped up overnight, shirts that said, "Let her play hoodies," reading, "Benched but boss coffee mugs with built different." Ask the ratings. Even billboard ads started appearing in Indiana, paid for by fans. One downtown sign read, "Number 1 in votes, number 0 in minutes." You do the math, but the biggest shakeup. A sudden cancellation. A WNBA media event scheduled for the following weekend featuring top all-star players was abruptly scrapped. The official reason? Scheduling conflicts. But sources say it was due to concerns that fans might protest, or worse, boo players live on camera. This wasn't just a media crisis anymore. This was a brand emergency. Sponsors began quietly pulling digital ads. One even threatened to cut ties if the league cannot demonstrate fair player treatment. And Caitlin, still silent. Still posting nothing but training clips, family pics, and game-ready content, no rants. No quotes, no interviews, just that. Same cold.com energy. And fans loved it, they yelling. She working, real G's, move in silence like Caitlin Clark. But you want to know what made everything explode all over again?
She is literally not being seen without about 10 security guards.
The last-second league decision that no one saw coming. Just when you thought the league couldn't make things worse, ... they went and made the most controversial decision in modern WNBA history. Late at night, while the sports world was still reeling from fan protests, leaked locker room chaos, and viral clips of Clark doing absolutely nothing while being blamed for everything, the WNBA dropped a statement. Quiet, low-key, almost like they hoped. Nobody would notice, but fans did notice, and it took less than 2 minutes for the entire internet to explode. Due to overwhelming fan interest and recent feedback, the WNBA is considering revising the All-Star eligibility criteria and player participation guidelines for future events. A proposal has been submitted to allow league-selected fan impact participants, regardless of voting tier, to engage in special roles during All-Star Weekend programming, including in-game appearances. Wait, what? Did they just say? They're rewriting the rules for Caitlin Clark. Let's be real, that vague, polished statement. It was clear as day to fans. They're changing the rules so this never happens again. Y'all bullied Caitlin all season, and now the league's changing the game just for her. That's wild. She broke the system from the sidelines. No one's ever done that. But here's the real kicker. The leaked internal document that followed. Yup, it happened again. Someone inside the WNBA, clearly fed up, leaked the full proposal that the statement was talking about. And the details. They made jaws drop, because buried in the wording of the new plan was a clause that basically confirmed everything fans had suspected. In light of security risks, fan unrest, and market volatility caused by recent high-profile absences, future All-Star protocols must include mandatory participation opportunities for players who significantly influence ticket sales, viewership, and engagement, even if not selected by traditional voting processes. Translation: if you sell out the damn building, you're getting on the floor whether people like it or not. And there was only one name on the example roster used in the proposal: Caitlin freaking Clark. That's when the internet went into meltdown mode at Legit Hoops. So basically, she didn't play. She didn't speak. She got roasted.
There were a bunch of people, little girls, who had your jersey.
And she still made the league bend. At Ball is Life, Caitlin Clark is about to rewrite the damn WNBA, and all she had to do was sit courtside. Even NBA stars couldn't stay quiet anymore. Damian Lillard tweeted, "She's him." Kevin Durant said on a podcast the next day, "You can't fake that kind of impact. If people show up for you, that's the game. Period." But it wasn't just praise. Inside the league, whispers of an internal revolt. Sources say a secret Zoom meeting was held just hours after the leak, with multiple players allegedly saying they were tired of the favoritism and refusing to be extras in the Caitlin Clark show. One player allegedly dropped the line, "If this is what the league wants, let them play with her and her fans. I'm done." And with that, entire WNBA was teetering on the edge. Fan versus player. Old, guard versus new wave. Caitlin versus everybody. And yet, she's still quiet. No press conference, no apology, no "I told you so." Just another Instagram story. A shot of the practice gym, empty lights off, a single caption, "Back to work." That's when it hit fans. The storm isn't over. This wasn't the climax. This was just the spark. Because if Caitlin Clark can sell out an all-star game without touching the ball, what's she about to do in the playoffs? What happens when she actually plays in next year's All-Star? Or better yet, what happens when she finally breaks her silence? And the scariest part, that silence is getting louder every day. Yo, did you feel that? Caitlin Clark didn't even play, and still managed to flip the entire WNBA upside down. From locker room showdowns to leaked chats, fan riots, sponsor threats, and a league rewriting its own rules, all without her speaking a single word. And now, the game has changed forever. But here's the real question. Do you think Caitlin Clark should have played in the All-Star game? Was she unfairly iced out by jealous vets? Or was she too hyped too soon? Let us know in the comments right now, and don't hold back. We're reading everything. Team, let her cook. Or team, earn it first. And yo, if you thought this story was wild, just wait until you hear what's happening next, because sources are already whispering about another locker room incident brewing behind closed doors. This time involving two teammates beefing over Caitlin's rising fame. And one of them might be requesting a trade, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe with the bell turned all the way on, and share this video with every hooper, fan, or hater who swore the WNBA was boring, because clearly, that was before Caitlin Clark stepped in. And remember, she hasn't even spoken yet. Next episode drops soon, and trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. Stay locked, stay messy. And, as always, keep it loud in the comments below.
Something that never gets old, truly, like to see young girls and even young boys wear your jersey or want a picture or want an autograph. Every time I walk out in the arena and people are screaming and cheering, like they could care less how many points I score or how many minutes I play.